So let's do this. Okay, so this is paragraph 4a, algebraic notation, and we're going to be looking at how we simplify expressions which involve algebraic terms, letters, and numbers, and maybe times and plus between them. So let's have a look at this first one. How would we write this in product notation? Fancy words. It means basically how would you make it as simple as possible and using a lazy method here. T6S would be a very good first step. So saying I'm going to get rid of the times, I'm going to put it as T6S. Now there's another step we use as well. That's correct, actually. We also carry on though. We go further than that. We also do something else. We do something with that 6. We bring it to the front of everything. So if we bring it to the front, then what does this become? It becomes 6TS. And then lastly, we also do something else with these letters. Yes. Exactly. So that would become? Excellent. So the very final answer would be 6ST. So you see what we did? We got rid of the times, we brought the number in front, and we put the letters in alphabetical order. Pretty much this. You see how much nicer it is? So lazy. I don't have to put the times, I just put the number in front, the letters in alphabetical order. Very, very easy. Okay, let's move on to the next one now. This one is supposed to be more complicated. Let's see how we do this. Does anyone want to attempt 4 times K? Okay, very easy. You can even call that out, no problem. So that becomes 4K. Let's see. Let's copy that plus for now. So we'll just copy that plus. Now, what about this M times 3? Okay. This is very good. This is very good. We've got an issue being raised here. Very interesting. Before we get to that, the final bit you said, I'm just going to swap the M and the 3 like you said. The 3 comes in front, so we put that in front. So we get 3M. Now, some of you started mentioning about, okay, let's try to apply those rules and bring all the numbers in front and keep the letters later. But actually, here, this is where we stop. Why? Because of this plus. See, let's go back to these rules. These rules that you were trying to apply previously, they work in product. So product is where you have times. So product means multiplication or times. So basically, if you have a plus or times, let's say, right? Because some of you call it times. Now, if you have a plus in the middle, it means that's not a multiplication. So we'll just keep it as it is. It's done. We're already done. This is it. So those of you who said, oh, I'm just going to get rid of the times, make it 4K, you were correct. Those of you who said, I'm going to change this to M3, which then becomes 3M, that's also correct. And now that's it. We just copy the plus and we're done. Let's move on to a last one here on the right. Okay, let's see. This might be looking a bit more complicated. 3 times brackets R plus S. Ooh. Yes, exactly. So you could call this 3 brackets R plus S. To me, this looks absolutely fine, absolutely simplified. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely simplified. Based on what we said today, this is fully simplified. At some point, we will see how you can actually carry, because this is addition, right? We can't do much here. It's not multiplication. We talked about multiplication. That's the only thing we said. This is fine. At some point, we will see how to open the brackets, to expand these brackets. But for now, I only wanted to focus here. And you can see the textbook has also given the same answer here. They're not opening the brackets. We're just leaving it as it is for now. Ta-da, excellent. Now we're going to move on to another thing, writing sums as product. So what does that even mean? Let me explain. So here it says R plus R plus R plus S plus S. So we are too lazy to do that. That's not how we roll. Close. So what did you mean? What did you want to say? Okay. That is actually not correct. We do it slightly differently. I think somebody said it. 3r. That's the way we do it. So effectively, how does it work? Think about it this way. One lot of r plus another lot of r plus another lot of r. How many lots of r? 3 lots of r. And the way we do that is we say 3r. That's all we write down. The thing what you're thinking of about the power, that happens when we have multiplication. So if we had, for example, r times r times r, then that would be r cubed. That would be r with a little power, but something like that will be covered a little bit later. So don't worry about it for now. For now, we'll only have to add. Okay, so that was 3r, and then we have plus how many? Exactly, plus 2s, and this would be the final answer. And for those of you wondering why I put a little line on top and bottom, it's because my s often looks like my 5. So just put a little line so that everyone knows that means an s. So is that clear? Is everyone a bit confused about this, or yes? Okay, absolutely. So here we count how many r's we are adding. So it's like saying one blue pen plus another blue pen plus another blue pen. How many blue pens? 3. So we just put a 3 in front, and then we put that letter, because it's only a letter. It doesn't say pen. If it said pen, we would say 3 pen, right? Now here we have plus, and then you count how many s's you have. 2. So you just put a 2 in front, and then you put the letter of the s. That's it. So instead of writing again and again and again, instead of saying, oh, I met a girl, then I met another girl, and then I met another girl. That's too lazy. You can say I met 3 girls, right? It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, moving on to, oh gosh, who comes up with these questions? Look at this. We have to actually count. No, okay, count with me. Okay. Let's see. It might take me some time. So you said it's going to be 2D, and then you counted already in here. 1, 2, 3, 4A. Okay, so you were actually right. Let me see now. In that case, we have 2D. And where did that minus come from? Ah, there's already a minus. We just copy the minus. Okay. How many A's do you see in the brackets? 4. So that's going to be minus 4A. Now, well, that's a very good question. Let's put the brackets there. Okay. No? Why? Yes or no? Brackets or no brackets? Hands up if you think we need to put the brackets there. Hands up if you think we don't need to put the brackets there. Hands up if you didn't put your hands up before. Okay, so it looks like the majority is undecided. Basically, for those of you who are unsure, you don't need to put the brackets there, because we're going lazy here. They don't actually do anything. There's nothing happening really inside the brackets which needs to be separated. So you could simply rewrite this as 2D minus 4A. Now, not that the first thing is actually wrong. It's not wrong. It's just a bit of extra information. You know, that's pretty much it. Okay, so now that would be the idea. So here, let me just say, we just remove the brackets because we are lazy. Let me put a smiley face here. Lazy. Just get rid of the brackets. We don't need them if they're not doing anything important. Okay, now we're talking about powers. No, not about powers. Gosh, is that little trick I mentioned before? Let's see if anyone remembers it. So how could I rewrite B times B? Wow, you're so good. Okay, so B times B will be B. Oops, sorry, let me get rid of that. B times B is going to be B squared. And now let's move on to the next bit. So now, what would be A times A times A? Excellent. Why cubed and not A to the power of 3 or something? It's basically a... Yes. Well, let's talk a little bit about this. This we can call in 2 ways. One of them would be B squared. B squared. Another way you could call it is B to the power of 2. Right. Which one is shorter? Exactly, B squared. So why not use that? It's so much quicker. Same thing with this one. We have 2 options. We can call it A cubed because it will help us in a cube. We'll see at some point it's related to a cube. Another way of saying it would be a to the power of 3. Who wants to say that? It's too long. We're too lazy. Get rid of that. Okay, so final answer then. What would be our final answer? 8b squared a cubed. Great. Now, do you think we might be able to change something a little bit here? So how would we put it in order? Excellent. That's it. This actually is considered slightly simpler. Not that the previous one is wrong. It's just that we have a convention and we just prefer this. So I'll put a smiley face there to show you exactly that. This is also correct, but for the purposes, I'm going to put it in brackets. For the purposes of what we're doing here, we will always try to use the same. It's not wrong, okay? But we always try to use the same method so that we all have like a similar result, if you like. If I'm going to be honest, if you gave me this answer in a test, I would consider it correct. If you put this in your GCSE exams, it would also be considered correct. As long as the number is in front, that's considered correct. But here we're talking about a rule where we generally try to do the same thing. Yeah, it's like saying in Rio de Janeiro we say bom dia instead of bom dia. In the Northeast you say bom dia. Is it wrong to say bom dia? No, but most people say bom dia, so we just say bom dia just to make it simple, keep it simple, right? Okay, let's move on to this one down. Oh gosh, who can't go with this question again? Okay, so this is mixing up addition and multiplication. Let's start with this one. What is k plus k? Excellent, 2k, because I'm adding 1k plus another k, so that's going to give me 2k. And then what do I need to copy? Copy the minus. So let's copy that minus. Let's put it there. And now let's think about the next bit. So that next bit will have a 3 in front of everything. And then exactly, because it's d times d times d, so it is going to give us d cubed. So our very final answer will be 2k minus 3d cubed. So boom, that's it. Now we don't change this at all. We don't need to change anything because you see here we have a minus. When there's a minus or a plus, we don't change anything. We only change it when there's a times in front of everything. Then we can move things around. We can move the letters around, but now there's nothing to do, nothing to move around. Now, for this part, I'm going to stop the recording and give everyone some time to practice. And obviously, I'm going to be here to help you out if you need anything on any of these questions. So bear with me. I'll stop recording, and I will upload this recording after the end of the lesson.